Hello? Can you guys hear me? I cannot hear you guys at this point. Let's see.
Good morning.
Oh, yep, there we go. I hear Anne. Good morning, folks. I am so glad we are doing this today, and I'm so glad to have something a little bit different. Being able to see everyone here on Zoom. We've got about 6 minutes out here. I think it's going to be good. So one thing, let me see if I can change the settings. What I'm going to do is go ahead and mute everyone who is not presenting. And if you want to talk or share something, do say something in the chat, and that's how we'll know to unmute you, just so we can have a good experience for everyone here. Let's see. All right. So Anne, you are still unmuted. So
Okay.
Anne is going to be presenting this morning on her Trello setup. And when she gets started, I will change to my over-the-table camera, and you can just see me working on stuff while she's talking. Yeah. All right. Let's see. This one you can see? That one. That light is too big. Get rid of that glare. Ooh, I love seeing so many faces. This is so awesome. So you do still have a chat box. You can pop that out. Depending on what device you're on, you can see it on the side, or if you're in your app, I think you kind of have to toggle back and forth, or it might show a little bit below. All right. Okay. So Deborah, I will talk about this again when we get started. There was a little issue with my emails. There was 164 members who didn't get our monthly member email. And today that was sent out at the bottom of the email for Stash Bash. So if you got an email talking about how to organize embellishments, and you were one of those members that didn't get the March 1st email, that information is at the bottom of that message. You can find the calendar on the member website when you log in. You can also find all of the events inside of the Facebook group.
Raise hand.
Yep.
So I will share, as we're just getting started here, I did finally get my tiny little trimmer. It is very tiny. It is also a hazard to children because it is a guillotine style, and my daughter keeps picking it up, and I'm like, no, you're going to cut off your finger. So be cautious of that. Try to keep it out of hand's reach. It's a little strange in that this guard here is really inflexible, so you have to really make sure you're putting your single photo or single paper underneath there. But I like it that it's super handy and it works great for photos, and it's really sharp, and it is self-sharpening because it is that guillotine style. So glad I got it. It was just $10 on Amazon.
Oh, I don't want to leave.
All right, it is just 9 o'clock here. Welcome everyone to our member crop for March. This is obviously a little bit different. We can see a lot of your faces, and some of you can choose to enable your cameras later if you like, or just your audio. It's so great to be able to see so many of you. Also a little intimidating as well. I think this is going to be much easier for a lot of you, and I'm already hearing in the Facebook group that some of you have used Zoom before and it's worked really well. And it also definitely will keep us all a little bit closer because we can see each other's faces. And hopefully we just have fewer tech issues, because there are always some folks that had issues with Crowdcast. And of course, the no registration part is really handy. You just pop in the link, same link every single time, so that makes it really, really handy. This morning we're going to do a couple things. You'll see me overhead. I'm going to be doing some organizing because, of course, that is the theme of the week, of the season. And we're also talking about the organization of ideas today. And many of you know that we have this class in the membership called the Creative Hub, which shows you a multitude of different ways to organize all of your ideas for scrapbooking, your project ideas, your page ideas, things you're working on, even, class logins, your best sources of inspiration in one place. But it doesn't show you exactly how to do it. It guides you through figuring out what format might work best for you. And so that's the Creative Hub class inside of the membership. And today, Ann Johnson is going to give us a tour of her Creative Hub inside of Trello. And she talked a little bit about this in the Facebook group. There was a ton of interest, so we asked her to pop on, and so she'll be sharing her screen, walking through, and you're free to ask her any questions. For now, I'm going to keep everyone muted, so if you have a question, we're going to try to do it in the chat, and so while Ann's talking, I will try to monitor the questions and feed them to her. And then sometime later, we might open it up to just everyone's voices if you guys want to chit-chat. Another thing I want to mention is that there were 164 members, which it seems likely that is the most engaged of you, who had signed up for Stash Bash that didn't get our March 1st email. It was a total technical bug that caused, much strife. All of you should have received an email this morning that was about Stash Bash. It was how to organize embellishments, but at the bottom of that, it should have included your March 1st member email if you didn't get that originally. Coincidentally, all of you also who got that email would have also received a welcome email for the Simple Scrapper membership, and that was a total mistake. When I was trying to correct the problem, it triggered an automation that said, hey, this is a new member, send them this email. So I do apologize for that, and thank you guys for your patience. It was a crazy little bug with the form I was using on the Stash Bash registration page. So I won't be using that one again for sure. Let's see, we've got a lot of folks in here. This is so terrific. You can see there's like a grid view, which is what I'm using, so I can keep an eye on everyone at once, which is really fun. There's a couple different toggles. And then when we go to Ann's screen sharing, it will default to going full screen, but you can take that out of full screen so that you can see it either at any size you want. You can also see other folks' faces as well, so that's kind of handy. Yeah, so I think that is all of my introductions. We are recording this that will go up on YouTube this afternoon for all of the folks that aren't able to join us live. And Yeah, welcome. And it's so great to see all of your shining faces. We have finally had arrived spring here. It is now back into that temperature jump of 30 in the morning and 60 in the afternoon. So we have all the fun of that, but at least the sunshine has returned. And I never realized how much I missed the sunshine and affected my mood until it is back. So I hope you guys have some sunshine as well. All right. Carol Ann has two monitors, so she is really rocking out with the views here. And I'm just going to turn it over to Anne, and she's going to start talking about Trello. And maybe you can just start off by telling us a little bit about your kind of past in scrapbooking and how you approach the Creative Hub, why you chose Trello, and why it works for you before you go into your screen share.
Sure. Okay. Well, I started scrapbooking probably back in 1999, and I started with Creative Memories. And then today I just kind of I did Stacy Julian Library of Memories. I joined Simple Scrapper. I've taken a bunch of classes from Big Picture. I follow Allie Edwards. So the evolution of my scrapbooking went from chronological to Library of Memories. If people are familiar with Library of Memories, it's 4 different topics versus chronologically. And then I went back to chronologically. So I think I've rearranged my scrapbooks a million times. But I joined Simple Scrapper last year, I think it was last fall, because I really wanted to figure out a new system for my scrapbooking. I've tried Project Life. I like Project Life, but it's too hard for me to keep up. It's just my husband and I. We don't have any children, so it's just pretty much my everyday life that I scrapbook. We do come from 2 big families, so we have lots of nieces and nephews that we like to document and stuff like that. So I used to try to keep lists of different pages that I wanted to make. And when I came upon that Creative Hub, it was very interesting to help me sort through how I wanted to organize my scrapbooking. And like I've said, I've used to keep notebooks and lists and planners and everything. And I finally, when I found Trello, I think Jennifer mentioned it in one of her videos that she did. So that's how I stumbled upon it. And then I took a class from Steph from Modern Photo Solutions, and the class didn't really explain how to use Trello, but she explained how she used it with her scrapbooking. So then I just started playing with it, and I found it to be a really cool tool. And it really helps, just helps me keep everything in one spot. And when I'm watching videos or reading something, a blog, I can just pop up my screen and I can take notes on something. Or if I want to tell a story, I can just use, I don't know, it's just a great tool. I hope people try it. I found it really easy to use. I only use the desktop version. I'm an Android user, but my phone, I pretty much use it to call people. I don't really use it for much. I'd rather be on my computer. So yeah. So I can, let's see, what else can I tell you about myself? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This is my first time ever doing something like this, so
That's terrific. No, you're doing a great job.
Okay, good, thanks. So I'll just pop up my screen, and then if you have any questions, just let me know. That'd be great. So where am I? Okay, so Trello is a free program. Like I said, I have it on my computer. You can buy the upgraded version. I think there's a Trello Gold and then a business plan, but there's no reason to have both. Or I don't, unless you really want to support them, I don't think there's a reason you have to upgrade. You do get all the different pictures that I have on my different boards, but like I said, you don't need to do the upgrade. So it's really easy. All you have to do is there's right at the bottom of your boards, it says create a new board. You name it, And let's see what. And then it just pops up, and then you can change the background. You can make different things and make it work. It's really cool. And then, oh no, let me see. I have to get out of here. Okay, so what I did in 2018 when I was reorganizing all my scrapbooking and trying to figure out a system that works for me, I went and I created a 2018 create. Create was my word for 2017, and so I really brought that forward in 2018 because I love to scrapbook. Scrapbooking is a huge priority in my life and a huge passion, so I do the best I can to just make it part of my everyday life. So this is sort of what I call my creative hub, the 2018 create. And I have my purpose. My word for 2018 is choose. So I keep some notes in there. A quote that I just kind of came up with, why I love scrapbooking. And so, like I said before, when I'm watching a video or reading a blog and something sparks that I want to keep track of, I'll pop up my Trello. And then I will just take notes in my cards. So you have your board, and then these are considered lists, and then in each list is a card. And again, it's really easy. All you do is add a card, type what you need to type, hit add, and it's there. So it's very user-friendly, I find. So in my Creative Hub, I have a 15-minute list that I created because there's many times where I wish I wasn't searching Facebook or browse, I could be doing some other things. So sometimes I just pop on and say, what should I do if I have 15 minutes? So I keep that list of things. I also have this 5 layouts this month that I use because sometimes my goal in 2018 was to do at least 5 pages a month. And so I kind of go through my list, and I'll show you my other list. I don't think get out of here. Oh, here we go. Oh, did I lose you guys? Oh, sorry. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so I do create a list, and it's really nice because that list is always in front of me. I can add things to it. I'm sorry, it can't. The toolbar is up on the top there, so I'm trying to click out of the screen, and I can't seem to. Let me see if this works. Hang on. Oh shoot! Sorry. I gotta figure out how to move this toolbar. Do you know how to move the toolbar off the top here? It's right in my way.
On my view options, there's a thing called side-by-side mode.
Oh, wait.
I don't know if that will move the toolbar though.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and then get out of this a second. Hang on. Sorry about that. Okay. Where am I? Okay. So that was my 15 minutes. I did that. I also then created a album projects list of all the different projects that I wanted to work on for 2018. And this was a good list because I really wanted to pare down the things that I wanted to do. I organized all my albums by the library memory system in some sort of, in a fashion that I have things we do, places we go, and then trips and vacations, and holidays and celebrations, and then both of my families. So when I'm working on my albums, or by layouts. That's where most of my layouts go, but these are some other albums and projects that I want to do throughout the year. It's really kind of nice because in the cards for my December daily, I haven't finished for 2017. I can put in there a checklist of things that I need to finish, which is really nice. Let me try this again. Try it. All right, sorry about that. It's going to stop sharing and then it's going to go away. Sorry. Okay, so, and then I also have a list of different layouts and albums that I use or that I need to do. For example, so if I'm at my computer and I come up with an idea or something, I can, I usually just put all my ideas in pages that I want to create. The nice thing about these, the cards are, when you add a card, you can add a photo or an attachment. You can add a label that which album that you want it to go to. You can add, I'll open this card. You can add a description, so I do my journaling in the description. I have the photo and then things that I need to do for the page, which is nice because everything is then all in one spot. And when I'm done with the page, I then can just delete this card. I can move the journaling into my Evernote. I use Evernote to store most of all my journaling. And then it's done. It's nice. I don't have to worry about, do I need to save the card? Do I need to, I get rid of it. It's so, it makes it nice to just have everything in one spot. And then when you're done, you're done. It's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry. This toolbar on the top is in my way.
It's all good. You're fine.
Okay.
One question that came up was, why are you using Evernote for your journaling instead of Trello?
Because I like to I like Evernote because I feel like it's like a memory log or a digital notebook for all my stories. So it's just kind of a big journal for me. When I've been using Evernote for quite a few years now, so I have a lot of stories in there. And now I use Trello more for my journaling. But then Evernote is just kind of a, I don't know, I just use it for a history book. So I can go back and I can search different stories. Even though they are in my scrapbook, I just like to have the different stories there. So that's what I like about Evernote. I'm better at typing in Evernote because it's faster. It's really hot in my room. So, and so then the next column I have is, I found this, I stumbled upon just recently, that you can copy the image into Trello, which was really nice because I found some layouts online or some galleries that I really liked, and I was able to just copy the image into the card, and then I can make myself a note why I like this image, why I like this layout, what would I use it for. And I thought that was really kind of fun because sometimes you pin a bunch of stuff. I used to pin a lot of stuff in Pinterest, and I was like, why did I save this? Or what would I wanted to use it for? And in Trello, I find that it's just, I can add more notes to why I really like the idea, or try it, or use it for this layout, or that, or not. And if I don't like it after a few months, I can just delete it, and I don't have to worry about having it printed or in a binder or anything like that. And I do the same for cards if I find some card ideas, and then I also do the same for sketches that I like. So pretty much I have this board open all the time when like I said, when I'm watching a video or reading a blog or on Pinterest or whatever, and if I come up with an idea, this is where the first place where everything goes. And then I have a another board that I call is my 2000. I called it 2017 album projects because this was something that I did. I went through every single album that I had and really looked through my albums to make sure what was missing, that I knew that I had photos printed for, that I had that were just missing. I, I, I'm more of an event scrapbooker. I'm getting better at being more story-driven scrapbooker, but I love scrapbooking Christmas. I love scrapbooking our vacations. We have summer parties. I love to do just summer layouts, birthday layouts. Those are my favorite types of scrapbooking. I think because it's easy for me, and I just love seeing all the pictures in my albums. So what I did is, and then you'll see across the top here, this is how I have my albums organized. So I have a set of albums that say things we do, places we go, trips and vacations, and then this is my husband's family. I have holidays and celebrations. I have Christmas, and then I have an all about us, and then my family is all these albums. So like I said, what I did was I went through all my albums and just made a list and put in on that list, okay, I know I have these photos printed of my nephew playing with his trucks and trains, and I wanted to do a page for that. So I just dropped it here into Trello and went through. And then when I find a sketch that I like, that I want to use with a layout, I'll just clip that right or attach it right to the card, which is really nice. Again, because when I go on a retreat or I have my 15 minutes, I can pull up this page and say, okay, I can work on we went fishing at Stormy Lake, so I can pull out those pictures. I know that they're printed, I know where they're at, and I can start working on that page. And then I know exactly which album it goes into. I used to keep notebooks and lists, and I've taken the Book of Stories class and everything, and I finally found this system that it works, and it's so nice because I went in January. We have a place I'm from Minnesota, and we have a place in Pine City. It's a retreat, and it was so nice because when I was prepping for the retreat, I was able to open this list, and I was able to pull the papers that I wanted, my embellishments, and my photos, because the list, I already knew what I needed to do. And I was able to do 30 pages that weekend just because I had everything organized. And it was one of the most, it was so great just having everything organized and everything together. And then when I was done with the page, all I did was right click on the card and I archived it, and it was done. And I didn't have to worry about, running out in a notebook or crossing it off or crossing off the wrong one. And sometimes what I do too is, you'll see I have this, I'm very famous of not finishing my pages and need journaling. So I put on the list that I have Christmas pages. The pages are done, and I just need to add journaling and embellishment, which is nice because, again, that's another one of those 15-minute tasks that I can do. I can run down to my room and I can and do a page, and I can quickly write this journaling, or I can, if I'm sitting in my office upstairs, I can quickly type into this card the journaling, and then when I am ready to go down, I can just go down to my room and make the page, and everything is done. So it's really nice having everything in one spot. Let me see.
And Sue has a question for you. I'm going to unmute her and see if she's willing to talk and share her question. All right. Unmute her. Oh, sorry, I remuted you. There you go. All right, Sue, go ahead.
Good morning.
So my question is, so your All About Us album, like that gray rectangle,
Yep.
is a list, and then inside the list you have a card, and then inside the card you have multiple options for other things, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand the hierarchy because this is like super cool.
Okay. Yeah. So when you open the board, you can create as many lists as you want.
Right.
So it goes over here, add a list, and then you label it what you want, and then it will say add a card on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just type, on, and that's all. It's super easy that way. Or you can open it up. You can do checklists. You can add due dates to it. So if you wanted, you were going to do this, you wanted to do it by the end of March, you can add due dates. You can add attachments. The best thing that I found about Trello, okay, I have to stop sharing this because this is the only way I know how to close out this card. So I'm going to go back to, this is my favorite thing that I found about Trello. So I have my Creative Hub. So I have this 2018 Creative Hub. So I have some of these ideas that I come up with. And so say this years of deer hunting, I can go in and I put in my checklist, or I want to do a page of all the years of my family deer hunting. So I have a checklist in here of all the different photos that I want to use. I haven't done the story yet. Shoot. Dang it. So then the best part of this is, so now I have this card and I want to move it to, so I want to move this card because this story is ready. I'm all ready to put this in my list of stories that I need to tell. So you click on move, and then you find the board that you want to go to, and I will move this. I'll show the story list one I have. So I move it to my story list, and I move it to the things that I want to do, and I just move, and it goes away from my Creative Hub, and then it will go to my other cards or my other boards that I have, and I have this one for 2018 that I created called Story Lists. And I broke down all my stories that I want to tell, and then the years of deer hunting went there. So then I know eventually. Cool. Yeah, so that was something that I really like, because I can have everything in my Creative Hub, and when I'm working on it, and then when I'm ready to move it on, I delete it, or if I want to move it to a different screen or a different board, it's so nice. And these are really easy to move around. The cards just go from there to there. You can delete them. You can archive them. You just have to play with it, and if you don't like a board that you created, you just delete it. It's super easy.
Right. When you put your photos on a card to hold them to make a layout, do you then either print that photo or pull that into Photoshop? And is it the same resolution, or is that just a placeholder for you to go and find that photo in your photo management system?
Yep. It's just a placeholder for me. I have everything in Lightroom. And so I don't know if you're familiar with Lightroom, but then I have all my photos in Dropbox. So I'm able to, when I add the photo, I'm able to pull it right from my Dropbox library. So I just go.
So you just like drag it right in.
Yep. You could just right click on it. It says copy image. I think I can. And you just right click, or you can attach it. You just go, and when you click on attachment, it gives you options where you can pull it from your computer, from Trello, Google Drive, Dropbox, or wherever you have it. And then And then I just go and I print it from Lightroom.
Okay.
And when the picture is in there, oh, I gotta stop this again. Oops. You can download the photo from Trello, and I'm sure the quality is the same. I don't think the resolution or anything changes from that. Let me see if I can find a photo. Yeah, right here where the attachment, it says download. So then it will just download right back to your computer.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. So I really like it. And the more and more I use it, the more and more I use it for everything. So it's fun. Is there any other questions?
I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone at the risk of doing so and see if there's any folks that want to pop up and ask some questions. So we'll see how crazy that gets. If it's a little much, I will just mute everyone again, and I will try to call on some folks that were commenting, but there were a good number that did have additional questions.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, never mind. Okay, I did remute everyone. I'm going to unmute Anne. Let's see. Libby, are you willing to ask a question?
Sure.
Let's see here.
I don't know. Did that turn on?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Great.
All right. My question that I asked was, you talked about taking pictures from Dropbox, and I wondered if it recognized Forever. That's where I store my photos.
I don't know.
Someone just said yes down here, so
Oh, okay.
yay. Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. I have found that if you right click on the photo, you get an option where it says copy image instead of copy link. And then I just copy that into Trello. And I think you can pull it in as an attachment, or you can just copy the image and it goes right in there. It's really kind of fun.
I'll play.
Yeah, it's a fun program to play with.
That was it.
All right. Since you guys seem to have control, which I didn't realize that everyone had control, which is great. If you want to ask a question, unmute yourself and ask a question.
I think there was a question that someone asked if it syncs with my computer and my phone. It does. Everything, whatever I do on my phone syncs to my computer and vice versa. So I've never seemed to have a problem with that.
Do you have any concerns about the amount of space that it takes up on your phone?
No, because I don't know that. I don't know anything about space on my phone. So, yeah, I don't know. So.
Well, obviously everyone's phone's going to be just a little bit different.
Right.
And all you can do is really try to see if it's going to work for your device and the amount of storage it takes up. Because every app is going to take up a little storage, but it should be storing most of the data in the cloud, I would think.
Yeah. And I do know that with the free version of Trello, it only will allow a 10 megabyte image. I think that's what it is. But if you buy the upgraded version, you can do 250. So, because I was playing around with it yesterday, and I thought it would be really neat to hold all of my like class material in there, mm-hmm. And I was trying to drop an audio, and it was too big. So, but you can drop PDFs in there. You can drop anything. So.
All right. Terry just says that it's saying less than 100 megs on hers, and she uses it a lot, so it's not even close to the biggest app. So.
Okay.
I believe it was the one that says iPhone user was the person who was concerned about that. I'm not sure who that actually is.
Yeah.
Or owner's iPhone.
And I see where Kim said she's a little intimidated. At first it is, but just if you don't like the card, just delete it, or you move it, or you copy it to something else. I have created a lot of boards And then I move them to different boards and move cards around, and I've deleted a lot of boards. It's really kind of fun.
So we've got somebody asking about what your other boards beyond scrapbooking that you use Trello for.
I'm a volunteer. I do a lot of volunteering, so I have a fundraising board that it was really nice because you can organize a lot of different fundraising events in it. So you just create a column for each. Let me jump on there and I'll show you. I do fundraisers, and then you can just, like I had thank yous I had to write and to-do lists and what we did for raffles and different things that we had to buy and advertising and decorations. So it was nice to organize a fundraising event. My shopping list, I saw someone ask about the shopping list. So somebody asked me on Facebook if I keep track of all my supplies in Trello, and I'm sure you could, but I don't. So my shopping list, when I'm watching a video or see something that I want, I'll click on, like I have a Simon Says stamps, I buy from them a lot. And so there's things that I want, and I'll just put in there. So then when I am shopping, I'm not fumbling around buying stuff I really don't need. I love the Container Store. And so I will find things that I want from the Container Store. Or if I go to Target, I'll make a list. I live in a very small town, so when I do have to shop, I have to go out of town to shop. So I'll make a list of things that I need from Target, and I'll just make a list, and then I'll add things to it. And when you're done, you just delete it. I have trips and vacations. We're leaving to go on a vacation next week, and you can organize your trips. We're going to the Bahamas, so you put the details, your car rental, you can email. Someone asked a question, you can email to Trello. Things that I need to pack, things that we're gonna do, so that's fun. What else do I use it for? Oh, I have, my husband's name is Warren, so I have A&W Life in Motion, and this is just kind of a dumping ground where I keep stuff that I want to keep track of, my different hobbies, things I want to do around my house, and made lists of different things that I want to get done in 2018. And sometimes I create a done list, so then when I am done with one of the cards, I can just move it over there and it's just done. And then when at the end of each month, I can, if people like to keep track of progress of things that they do, I can, it's kind of fun to see, oh yeah, I did really do something this month. When you go to Trello, if you go to their blog, a lot of people will share their Trello lists with you. And I thought that was a really neat feature. And I found this, I apologize because I don't remember where I got this from, but this woman shared her meal planning that she put together for, that's how she does her meal planning. And that was one of my goals for 2018, is to do meal planning. And it was really neat because then she shared this and all her different lists that she came up with. And so this is all the information that I got from this blog post. And it was really neat. So I haven't really done anything with it because I haven't, it's March, of course, you want to do meal planning in January, and it's March. Let's see, what else do I use it for?
Do you ever feel like it has become a black hole? Because that's been one of my challenges in any kind of digital tool, is making sure that you're only keeping the things that you really are going to use and not making it this like, one way in and no way out type of storage place, which is kind of what Pinterest has been for me.
Right. I'm trying to make it more part of my everyday life to use Trello and keep on top of it. Yes, like some of these boards are black holes and stuff just needs to be done. I do have on my to-do list once a week to go through my Trello cards And then once a month, I have on my to-do list, I have a recurring to-do list, and I just try to go through it. Usually I just check it off the to-do list that I did, and then it reoccurs the next month. But yeah, I try. That's one of what I want to do is keep up with it. But there is a lot of things that just, it's not, it shouldn't be Trello shouldn't be a place for permanent storage. It really should be a lot for in and out, just moving stuff, making a list, and then getting rid of it. That's what I'm trying to use Trello for.
I have a question. This is Honoré. Can you hear me?
Yep.
First of all, I'd like to say this is fantastic. I really appreciate your sharing this with us. Could you share the All About Me album personal board?
Oh,
Is
sure.
there anything in that? Thank you.
When I was on that chat, I think Kim did it, when we talked about doing an All About Me album. Let me see. I'm trying to open it. Won't allow me open it. Okay. And what I did was, and this is when just kind of the conversation we were just having before, was when we were doing that chat, I just made a list of different stories that I wanted to tell in All About Me. So I just made a list, and I just wrote some different ideas down. And now my plan for this is then to break it down in further lists. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I
So
had
you
muted myself.
Yeah. So you could really, if you had a big album project that you wanted to work on, you really could create a board and then just make the different lists for the different areas that it was going to fall under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's one thing I really like about Trello too. I mean, I am a notebook girl. I have tons and tons of notebooks, and I love to take notes, and I love to write things down. But then I would never go back to my notebooks, and I'm always on my computer. So that's why I think Trello for me works, because I'm always in front of my screen, and I'll have my notebook open, and then I'll never go back to my notebook. So,
Anne,
yes,
I have a question for you.
sure.
So you never went back to your notebooks, which I totally get. Do you also use like a calendar or a planner, or do you do all of that in Trello?
Nope, I do use I have an Erin Condren monthly planner that I use, and I use Google Calendar. So I don't do
So this is kind of for like lists and projects and project management and that kind of stuff.
Yep. I tried a board where I was going to there's a lot of good blog posts and videos out there how people use Trello to get things done. I think it's called Get Things Done. And I tried it, but I never would go to Trello a lot. So I'm better keeping lists on a notebook and crossing stuff off. So.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any more questions.
Yeah, definitely feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. I actually have something that I briefly want to share on my computer. And if you are, this would be for someone who is kind of attracted to Trello, but it feels a little intimidating. And this is something that I've been using for a couple years. I don't use it for my scrapbooking at all, but I do use it for everyday stuff. And, Anne was talking about recipes and all that. So let me share my screen. Let's see. So I'm gonna go over here. So this is Google Keep, and it's just keep.google.com. So if you already have a Google account, it's something that you have access to, and it's kind of like just a sticky note board, but it has a couple different added benefits. One, anytime you add a link, it adds this little thumbnail image, which makes it a little bit prettier, especially for recipes. You can pin some of your notes to the top. You can even change their colors. Let's just say I want to make all of these blue or whatever. it makes it really fun. So I just use it for a lot of really simple everyday things. I use it for my grocery list because you can add these check marks so that I can, check off that I got my, there you go. See it's all now in the completed item section. So even if my daughter accidentally checks it off, I can see that, it's down at the bottom. It didn't delete it. Uncheck, it goes back to the top. Then you can archive them. You can share them with others. So you can have collaborators on your lists. So if you're interested in doing something that is very visual organization like Trello, but it seems like a little bit much, this might be just a good, simple option. That was it. That was all.
Jennifer, is that on your phone as well, so you could access that grocery list while you were at the store?
Yes, it is. So I'm sitting there I'm that person with my at the grocery store with my phone checking things off my list. You can do similar things inside of Evernote. So it just depends on how you want to use these different tools. And I think that's one of the things that Anne highlighted and some of the conversation has as well, is that these different tools can kind of all work together as part of your system. And you may want to keep, Trello to be your scrapbooking thing, and then you may want to use something else for the other parts of your life, or you may merge them all into one. It's worth, playing around just to see what works best for you. This is where I'll store things like favorite fragrances and beers I like, and just other random checklists like that too. So just something simple and extra. All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to share today? About 15 minutes left. If you have other questions for Anne, you can pop on and then she can unmute herself again. I'm going to put the thing back over my desk real quick and just talk about what I am doing right now. I have been sorting some of my older Ellie Edwards kits because for a long time I thought I needed to keep these separate from the rest of my supplies because they were so special. And I found that I ended up not using, I would either choose one or the other. I was either using Ally products or I was not using Ally products. I was using other stuff. And I wanted to get them a little bit more integrated. So I'm just going through things, sorting things by type. So I've got 3x4, 4x6 cards here. I am compiling all of my little word stickers in one pile here. And those will go all together. And then as I find little embellishments, I'm putting them inside of my embellishment album, my die cut and chipboard piece album. If you didn't check out YouTube today, there's a brand new video sharing 3 different strategies that I use for organizing embellishments, including this little album. So I'm really excited about that. That's our first kind of challenge video in the Great Stash Bash. Also what I want to point out is that I'm kind of fanatical about recycling. So I do have all my cardboard pieces here that were in things, and those will get recycled. And then I have all the crunchy plastic over here that will get thrown away. So I do try to separate those. And I'm just going through because I have this miscellaneous bin. You guys on the last crop saw my other miscellaneous bin. It's kind of a bad habit of mine. I will just throw stuff in a bin. So I'm really trying to go through and sort my kits into my stash. And so after I do this one, my next plan is to go into some of my Studio Calico kits. And I really just want to have a stash. And as I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to be decluttering things. I'm actually taking some of these containers that my kits had come in to start putting in embellishments that I don't want to keep. And I'm building some flat rate boxes to we'll probably do an auction type giveaway and give the money to charity and whoever gets the box. So that'll be fun. And I do have a lot of these words that come with the kits. And I really wish she wouldn't put these in the kits because I think they're really lovely, but I don't want to scrapbook with them. So if anybody has a one little word that's been a past kit word, I will send these to you. Let me know. Because I have almost all of them from the past couple years. And, she charges, $10, $12 for these or more. And, so we can negotiate on that too if you're interested. So that's what's going on for me. I'm definitely in this decluttering mode right now. As we get started in Stash Bash, as always, one of the reasons we do Stash Bash and both in this big event format as well as during our retreats is because I need it just as much as you guys do. And it's just that opportunity to say, okay, this is what I'm doing now. I'm not going to do other stuff. I'm just going to focus on getting organized so that when we're outside of this decluttering season, then we know we're focusing on creating and we don't have to worry because we know that Stash Bash will come again. That's kind of been my philosophy for a long time, is that you can throw stuff in a bin because you know you'll have a chance to do it later. Because I don't want you to spend all of your time organizing, because that's not a good use of your time. All right. What else do we have going on here? So Kim says that she does sort embellishments mostly by color. This is so surprising for Kim because I thought that she and I thought very similarly, and now I don't know what to do with my life. My whole world is turned upside down because she sorts embellishments by color. I just don't think of things that way at all. And maybe a part of it is that so many of my embellishments are like white, gray, black, gray and black, craft. Maybe it's just because I don't have a lot of color in my supplies. But I do like color. So, let's see. What else do we have here? So, okay, I can see lots of faces here. I want to know, are you liking Zoom? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like Zoom. I'm seeing a good number of thumbs up. I'm seeing some blank, oh, there's another thumbs up. I'm seeing some blank faces. If you don't like it, that's okay too. I love your feedback. Definitely tell me pros and cons back in the Facebook group when we're done here. Certainly faces I've seen before and so many new faces. Super fun to be able to, connect more personally with you guys.
Can I say something, Jennifer? Excuse me for interrupting.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. There ought to be a way probably for us to indicate we wanted to talk if we're on video. But I've used Zoom with small groups like 2 or 3 people, just to have personal conversations, as well as large groups like this. And of all of the platforms that I've experienced over the past 15 years, because I used to use it in training also, not Zoom, but these kinds of platforms, this one is by far the best. And I like the fact that we can interact and have a conversation, not only a typed conversation, but that we can actually share our voices and have a back and forth, a more in the moment type of conversation. And I think it's an excellent platform for what we're trying to accomplish here in Simple Scrappers. So thank you for trying it.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, definitely. There was lots of reasons to do it, but definitely the closeness that we can achieve because of it is so important. And just to be able to, we could try to do that with Crowdcast, but there was always technical issues with getting people on. And so this just makes it that much easier so that everyone can share and just pipe in whenever you want. We don't have to worry about coordinating it as much. You can unmute yourself. You're all adults. So
yes. So it's really good. It's a good one.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Let's see. What else is going on right now? I'm still not done with my December daily. This has been a crazy month. My daughter had the flu, and then I was sick, and I'm still, nursing my voice back to health. So February was like a wash for me, but it's still at the top of my list for when I'm done with this kind of decluttering, as I'm filming the videos for you guys for Stash Bash. That is still my number one priority, and I'm trying to really be like stubbornly dogged with it and focusing on finishing that. Patty's saying the picture quality is so much sharper, which is awesome. That is definitely one of my concerns about Crowdcast. One thing I'm curious about, guys, is when you guys are looking at my desk, does it look backwards to you? Because for me, it looks like it's backwards, but I want to make sure that it's actually reversing it for you guys. Somebody want to unmute themselves and type in?
I unmuted me. I can't really tell.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, here we have, let me change it. And so here's a card.
Can read it well.
Okay.
Yep, it's in English.
Awesome. Perfect. So for me, when I see it, it's backwards, but I know that tends to be the case. That was the same in Crowdcast, that I see it mirrored. But I think it's broadcasting it flips it for you guys. So
Yeah, it looks fine.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we have a lot going on this month. If you were not here at the beginning, we had a little bit of an email situation, and I apologize for that. Definitely get an update on that inside of the Facebook group if you have questions. If you think you're missing an email or don't have access to something, please don't hesitate to tag us in the Facebook group or email Nisha at help@simplescrapper.com. We're always here to get you all set up on all those types of things. So I'm curious, does anybody have a recent victory or a little success they want to share? I'd love to go around, and I could just like force all of you to talk. We could just go one by one down the line. Everybody has to share a victory, but I'm gonna just allow you guys to unmute yourselves and share victories live, one by one. So who wants to go first? Okay, Honore is gonna go first.
Okay, as with you and your daughter, I got the wonderful flu too last month, and so about 12 days of my life I had hardly any energy.
Yeah.
But I have participated in Lay Out a Day load for maybe 5 or 6 years, and I managed, despite the fact that I was practically dead, to complete all 28 days.
That's a very huge victory. Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, no, that's super impressive because, yeah, it really is. All right, who's next?
I don't know. I've been scrapping with the app, and one of my friends posted a thing on Scrap Gals to finish it February.
Uh-huh.
And I finished January 2018 during February. So now I'm aiming to finish February during March. We'll see.
Terrific. No, that's a great focus.
Some of that won't all be
on track.
Yeah.
What is the app?
The Project Life app on my phone. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other scrapbooking apps yet, so.
Yeah, it keeps it really simple. And I've got some pages for February that I really want to do more elaborate layouts, and I will, I hope. Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it when I have really focused on and done stuff in the app. I don't like to do it for all of my scrapbooking, but it's a fun way to do some of my scrapbooking.
Right.
Yeah. I love that we have options. All right, who's next?
I have just emptied out 9 cropping style things. These were all embellishments that I decided I don't need anymore.
Oh, good for you. That's terrific.
That's my victory.
Yay, yay, yay. All right.
I have one.
Is that Trish?
That's me.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on my iPad because my PC blew up the other day, so I don't know how well. I've been working on a page to put back into my Before You story that we did years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally I'm almost done with it. So here is the page. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a lot of documenting, journaling in it, and it took me forever to journal it. So that's sort of been my victory this month.
Congratulations. I love how you're going back and adding more to that album and, working through roadblocks when you have a lot of journaling. So
Yeah. So it's done.
Yay. All right, definitely if you're also just on audio and not on video, feel free to share as well.
All right, I'm gonna jump in. Oh, good. There is a setting I found that if you go into video settings, that you can check the box that when you talk, the video will come to you. So I did not have that on earlier. So FYI. So I did my first load along with Honore and a bunch of other gals from the group, and I will say that it was actually much tougher than I thought it would be, but I managed to stick it out thanks to 6x8 albums that I was working on because that just seemed like a very doable size. But kind of as my celebratory managed to finish it, treated myself to some new products, and they came yesterday. I got up into this Pink Fresh Studio Let Your Heart Decide collection, and it is so pretty. I like all the colors. There's lots of like really usable phrases. They have like florals, but sometimes the florals are like too fussy. They're all like Maggie Holmes roses, and that's not really like my vibe. So a lot of this, it's more like botanicals, greens, and more like casual type flowers. And so I'm super excited to play with this.
What's the name of the line again?
It is Pink Fresh Studio Let Your Heart Decide.
Let Your Heart Decide. I'll have to look for that one. That sounds really pretty.
It is, let's see, the colors might not be so good here, but kind of like peachy pinks, aquas, greens. There's one that's got a bunch of the different colors.
Ooh.
So it seems like super fresh and light for like spring and summer scrapbooking. So I'm excited.
Yay, terrific. Yeah. All right, we have a couple more folks that want to share something.
I'll share a non-scrapbooky thing.
Okay.
I finally started making my daughter's plaid shirt that she asked me to make like 3 months ago. Yay!
Woohoo!
She's so patient. So, working on that. Made a blurb book out of Stacy Julian's 12 from the old big picture. Managed to figure out how to make the blurb book, the trade book.
So, no, I'm curious, what role did all that memorabilia that you had go into your blurb book?
Oh, no. It was a blurb book of all of the PDFs from the class.
Oh.
And I'm still working on the giant bucket of memorabilia, which I have moved into another room.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out, as I'm going through, one of my goals for March is to completely move everything from Aperture into Lightroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started.
Yeah.
And I've been working on it while we're talking. So one of the things I need to figure out is it's all digital, like 2009 to 2006, I have no pictures printed. That's my gap. So it's like, well, I could do it all digital, but then I know I have memorabilia.
Mm-hmm.
And how is that going to like feed into the process? So I'm kind of mulling that over.
To me, always the simplest solution, and I'm suspecting you won't like this, but for somebody else, that I like the idea of you do the photo book and then you put it in your box with your memorabilia.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't think you're going to like that. I'm just suspecting. For somebody else, it might really work. So that's what I did for my wedding. I didn't want to do like an elaborate scrapbook. I felt too intimidated, so I made a photo book. And the photo book lives in the box with all the little frilly things. So
yeah, I think I have a box from my wedding, like a shoe box with stuff in it. And then I have like the photographer's book because it was, So yeah, that's where I finished a quilt. So a lot of non-scrappy stuff this month.
That's still success, and that's also like feeding your creativity for other things too.
Yeah, and knitting. So lots of stuff.
Cool. All right, anyone else? Lindsay?
Yeah, I'll join.
Awesome.
I've been starting a prayer book or praise book for Lent. So every day I've been doing a little page, and it's not really my normal style to do so much journaling. And then I'm not a pink person, regardless of whatever I'm wearing today. Some a little bit of journaling, and so I've gotten several pages done actually. So
that's awesome.
I'm really excited about it.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
I love that. I love being able to like follow along with something that's going on with your life. It feels really rewarding to kind of document that in the moment.
That's what and I'm excited about this as an option. I've been wanting to do this for like a year. So
and it has like a finite end date, so it's not this ever going project.
40 days and we're done.
Yeah. No, that's always helpful too.
Yeah.
All right, last call. I love the sharing of victories live. This is really, really awesome. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can do this again, and maybe some other ways that we can use Zoom, because this is of course really, really fun. I have to go head to swim lessons, but I'm gonna say that if anybody wants to stay on and keep creating, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. And you guys want to share your videos and talk about what you're doing, please feel welcome to do that. Also this link is really open any single time. So if you guys want to organize yourselves to like, hey, let's jump in the Zoom room to like talk about something, then please feel free to do so. I have to make sure all the setup is right though. So we'll have to test it out and see what happens when I'm not here. But could you guys talk before I showed up? So I know, yeah, so I think it'll be okay. You just don't have like, nobody's the host to force you to do things, which is always good too. So, all right, thank you guys. I'm gonna go run to swim lessons. We have to go get my little minnow in the water and get her improving her skills today. I wanna thank you guys so much for being members and all your patience with technology hiccups as well as technology explorations as we try new things and so that we can really enjoy our scrapbooking all together. I loved hearing about your victories. That's already my celebration for the day, as I love hearing you guys are moving forward and having fun. So take care, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Oops, say goodbye. Okay, we're out. Nope, stop.